Dear viewers, greetings to all. Today's episode will feature basketball blogger Nikolay Zinchenko. Nikolay is the co-founder of the project Hoops. Hi all. Hi, good to see you. Let's say hello to the camera. Yes, before it was just bloggers, now they even have their own team. That's why I said the project. So you have both a team, and the team is media related, meaning from basketball players, bloggers. A team you could say is semi-professional, which is now even aiming for professional leagues, for the Super League. I heard that you are planning to enter any VT league, so the project, unique in the market, and basketball, and I think in principle sports, yes. And in general, 6 million subscribers. Yes, how many do you have now?
6,200
More than 6.
something.
This is St. Petersburg subscribing to you. Cool. Listen, let's start with the fact that, by the way, when I was preparing, I wanted to find some information about you, and just saw that about a month ago, a podcast with you came out with Mark Popov, yes, I believe, is his name. The CSKA physical preparation coach. By the way, I watched it all, interesting. But it is more about the sports part, meaning about hoops as a sports project. You recruit players, well, all about the sports part, but specifically about some blogging theme, at least in basketball, both with you and in general, like, I don't know, how to become a blogger, your path, and so on. There is no information about that. And on that podcast, you asked the host a good question, who is your audience, right? And precisely our audience is mainly young athletes and their parents. And mostly these kids who are now, how old they are? 14, 16, 18. So school kids, and most of the guys who are into sports, we understand that, well, probably won't become NBA players, won't become VTB league players and so on, so they kind of do sports up to a certain stage, and most likely they will need to do something in life in the future, even if they become athletes, like, for example, Anton Ponkrashov, who is already transferring his athletic experience into a kind of, media role. Yes, that is smoothly transforming his career from an athlete into some sort of blogger, journalist, a media person. And it is interesting to talk to you as someone who has created such a truly serious project. Meaning Winline sponsors you now. You pay players' salaries. You 6 million subscribers. So this is really already kind of a serious project. And as we discussed off camera, we are already acquainted. About 8 years probably, well, it's clear that 8 years ago there was probably nothing like this even close. So tell us about yourself. Let's get to know you. Where are you from? Tell us your journey on YouTube, and generally, as far as I know, you're not from basketball, right? You didn't engage in basketball, and I think someone even mentioned that initially you planned to do it about soccer. I don't know.
Well, okay, yeah.
Someone told me about this. I think something like that. I'm not sure. So let's just talk about yourself and your journey.
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. Listen, cool. You introduced me. No one has introduced me like that. Nikolay Zinchenko. You see, I kind of have a nickname, KolyaSick, yes. Although, a subscriber came up to me, just says, is your last name really Sikov? He just changed it and we contacted to Nikolay Sikov. Yeah. Listen, I'm not from basketball. I actually used to play football professionally. Well, like, in my youth, I really wanted to connect my life with football. But, as often happens, due to overstrain, due to injuries, I ended that story. It was a really heavy blow for me. I remember I was completely hysterical there. And tears and all
Finished
that stuff.
due to injuries?
They found some sort of hernia. And, you know, it's not compatible with professional sports, so that's it. Yes. Then somehow I started getting interested in YouTube, watching all the bloggers, stuff like that. And our first ones, well, I was friends with Lesha Yankov. And also we had my brother Sanya, our editor. He had his own public page on VKontakte. basketball vines. I think it still exists. Yes, yes, yes. Like short videos with music, some funny moments. And actually that's how Lesha got the idea to create his own channel. Specifically on a basketball theme, to have that push.
You are waiting, in my opinion, also not a basketball player.
He's not a basketball player.
What's basketball got to do with it?
But I suppose he got interested in it because of the support from the basketball community, like the audience. So it wouldn't be from scratch, you know, somehow starting out. So somehow we started working with Lioha. I even wrote materials for him. So simultaneously learning basketball himself, you know, like that. Filmed him, like they went to studios.
And where were you living at that time?
Saransk, the city of Saransk, Republic of Moldova. We worked together for a long time. Then the first major sponsor came, an economic company called Marathon Bet. I don't know if it's still quoted anywhere in Russia. Marathon Bet seems like a long time ago.
I think they sponsored Hardcore at the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't think they are involved now.
Right. Yes, that's where the first big money appeared. And then the sponsor asked to increase the number of videos significantly more. So essentially we were releasing about 7 videos a month. And he said, let's add 10 more videos. So I thought about how that could be done. And we decided to find some pretty girl who would like talk about basketball news, as if there's always a lot of content if it's news, you know, like a news format. So we found Alla this way, Alla Mill, who, well, and we started working. It didn't really click with the audience. Well, she's not a professional host, just someone we know, and it didn't connect with the audience. But I like the idea that we could create another cool channel with more live videos, some kind of live content, some challenges, and we decided to keep Alla, just to create a separate channel for her there. And at that moment, well, we worked a lot. We even created the first chaos, like a basketball chaos, probably in the world. There was something similar in the West. So before all the TikTok houses, we like rented a big house, an apartment, and worked there together. We generated content, things like that. And yes, we filmed various challenges. Then, skipping ahead a bit, we thought like, we need to move to Moscow. There are more opportunities there, what can I say, especially compared to Iran. So we moved to Moscow.
How many years after the start did they move to Moscow?
What can I say? That was probably 2000, maybe some year in 19.
What about the beginning?
Well, in the year 2015, probably. So we moved to Moscow. Also with all this chaos. Yes, there were difficult times, undoubtedly. I think we didn't even manage to move on the first try. We went back, then again, and announced a casting call for new characters. Like, if you want to be in videos, have fun, write to us. And to personal messages, or so. And that's exactly the first such connection with my partner friend, Maxim, HeyMax, he wrote. Or there's also a funny story. He wrote and he shows me, like, this boy wrote. I look and think, no, I don't think he fits. Like,
that's it, we're going.
Listen, I just didn't like his appearance. And he's
To
like,
be continued.
let's try. Why not? I'm like, okay, let's do it. And that's it. We already filmed in Moscow many cool different videos. And I got another idea because they were both girls and boys. I thought, damn, it would be cool to have a purely male channel and a purely female one. Also like Lesha Yankov, meaning a small network of channels. So that's it. We created a new channel. Hubs, exactly. Alla was filming various videos with girls. The content became more dynamic. I mean, some challenges, like if you miss, you get slapped, as an example.
Watch OnlyFans.
Yes.
Yes, we don't.
Yes. Yes. So we also started with similar content. Well, what can I say?
We still have the most viewed.
Right. Moreover, it recently surpassed. We had a prank there. The most viewed
Where he like
one.
pretended to be a basketball
Yes.
player, pretended to be a janitor.
Yes, the janitor,
general,
we have a
such
lot of different ones, like pretending to be a janitor, a homeless person, even a grandmother. Pretended to be a grandmother. And the video will divide something there. OnlyFans from models, basically. Yes,
and
one
were
there.
these real OnlyFans models?
Yes, yes.
And how did you find them?
Listen. I think
Hood?
Maxon had a job related to it. Basically, he was producing girls and he would set them up for shoots. And we filmed this kind of content. Yeah. Now, looking back, it's quite amusing. Well, basically, yes, we created this channel. And it's been with us since the year 2020. And also, you need to understand, in the first year, we maybe released a video once a month, then didn't care for half a year. And precisely the video, with slaps on the butt, started gaining. And I wasn't in Moscow then, I called Max, saying, bro, we need to ride the hype, keep it up. You know, it also gave a pinch of motivation. Well, and actually, yes, then we hopped up with these prank things. And Team Pen appeared, like the first media team. Well, as it appeared, it also faded away. Damn, it had such bad potential, but I don't know. The guys somehow didn't manage, although it still exists. I don't know, something didn't work out for them. Called Max into the foam, called Lesha Yankov. They played a couple of games there. Then Max comes and says like, let's create our own basketball team. I'm like, let's do it. And even before any media leaks, we just made our own team. And we refused all content, like pranks, all sorts of girls, and started filming purely basketball content. Understood that the numbers would be small for now, but felt sure that we could grow an audience that would like it. And now we are filming. And it worked out. Yes. And where did Yankov go? Lesha Yankov. Yes. Listen, he also has quite a long story, but he had a really tough, depressive period. Burned out. Yeah, from burnout, from everything. He sold his channel at first. Then, I'm sure he regretted it. I even regretted it myself. Then they made a new channel. And also a very amazing case. There, in a month, maybe 70,000 subscribers. Also many million views. And now Lyoka continues to publish. It's just that he probably, now his channel is Yankov Champion. There are, I think, 400,000 subscribers. Yes. Maybe 500,000. He probably now perceives the channel just like purely as a business, as a source of income. But he has one project that he is really passionate about, PNBA 2K, cyber basketball. I think he'll do it soon, and it will be cool. And yes, he continues to film. For now, he's doing it quietly. But otherwise, he's a legend. I don't know, everything started with him. The first person who started talking about basketball in Russian on YouTube. You know, just like that. Yes, it's surprising that
the person who created all this is not visible right now, and
well,
essentially
yeah.
one of the most probably recognized people in this market. Yes? Your channel is, it turns out, 4 years old, right? Yes. And 6 million subscribers. Tell me, how in general, how quickly did you gather the first 100,000? And how quickly 1 million? And then you mentioned slaps on the butt. Well, some kind of viral content. So in general, how quickly did you gain subscribers? The first 100,000, the first million? And at what stages did you grow the most and why?
Yeah. Damn. The most difficult, the hardest part was, yes, getting the first 100,000 subscribers. It was such a joy and such a challenge. After that, everything just went smoothly.
Because you already find your audience and you already understand which button to press in order to...
Yes, well, and we were really lucky. Well, it's not just luck. We simply adapted at the right time. That's when YouTube launched its new format, shorts, short videos, and thanks to that, we gained all these millions of subscribers. They were some of the first to start creating sports content exclusively on YouTube. There are many guys who re-upload from TikTok, some from Reels, but we made it exclusively, specifically for the shorts format, for the YouTube format. And at the peak over there, we have, like I mentioned about Lesha, we have 70,000 in a month.
Klopt af.
70,000 subscribed in a month, and we were getting 100,000 subscribers a day. Can you imagine? At that time, we were still living together, me, Max, and Sanya, the editor, in a similarly small apartment. We were going crazy there. There was this counter, you know, which shows in real time the subscribers were just jumping. With every click it was plus 20 subscribers.
So mostly everything came from shorts, such large numbers.
Yes, I mean, our shorts were getting tens of millions of views. Now if you look, very many, about 30 million, 20, 15 in general. And because of this, the lion's share. But darn, the most frustrating thing is that those who watch the shorts, these tens of millions, but don't watch long content. That's really frustrating. But shorts really boost your media presence, your recognition. That's why, yes.
Well, even on our channel, like, our channel of course can't be compared. We have more niche content. Well, we have like 5,000 subscribers, but still, even when you post any shorts, there are always some subscriptions, always, well, someone subscribes, and from larger videos, well, the statistics are always lower.
Yes.
But they play better long term, because if you made something interesting, people can dare. And look in 10 years. Yes. And where do you get ideas for content? Do you come up with them? Watch something, maybe in the American market, in the English-speaking market, like, how does this idea come to you, what to film, and how do you feel about what will be a hit and what won't?
Listen, more often, yes, we engage in searching for Western bloggers. I don't know, we can even watch a video by Mr. Beast and, you know, remake it in this style, basketball themed. We had a cool video there. The winner of the challenge becomes a millionaire for 24 hours.
Or is it like, you know, they gave it to millions?
Well, it was cool. He only moved around in the Maybach. He was immediately, you know, in a cool suit with cool watches. He rented out an entire movie theater just for himself. There were Michelin-starred restaurants and a spa, you know. We even set up a date with an escort there.
They contacted Max's channel. Yes.
Well, yes, like some, but as a rule, like the video you direct your attention to. As a rule, it doesn't gain traction. Some random idea thought up in 5 seconds tends to do better. Recently we had high hopes for a video where the loser becomes a quadra bearer for 20,000.
I would not watch the video.
Yeah, everything there is according to the hype standards.
The hottest topic right now.
Yes. A self-discussed topic. We went to the Avia Park. He was jumping there. This was posted in short. Everything
Many
there.
millions.
He and some Moscow public media. That a man is a quadra biker approaching some passers-by. It was really like everything was set up for us to get hype. Then I picked up on this theme. And on the second day made screenshots from the video.
And the movie...
The suggestion section in these publics. That like, he was taken by the police are chasing him. This quadra bear. And there is actually a screenshot where the police are going. And he runs, gets on 2 legs and runs. And it seemed like everything was building up to go viral. But no, it's not working. it's disappointing.
So it's purely random, yes, what takes off and what doesn't.
More often, yes. But our boy really loves to watch, so we try to make it captivating for him with our little interviews and editing. I think it's truly, you know, quite close to a
well,
real
with UBA, since you have the data,
yes,
it's nothing.
yes.
Very cool. Well, can you give some advice on how to make a video that will get hundreds of thousands or millions of views? If, let's say, someone wants to become a sports blogger, like maybe what to shoot so that it goes viral. Listen, I just wrote down
a few tips, 10. I'll read them directly.
I prepared.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's start right from 0. Here I have 10. But here's the special point 0. First, you need to create a channel and name it in your honor. That is, so that it becomes the development of a personal brand, and in the future, so that the viewer focuses not on the content, not on the video, but on you, first and foremost, as a personality. The content, firstly, should not cover everything, but focus on a narrow theme directed at a specific viewer. This way, it will be simpler. And this is a really cool tip. First come up with the thumbnail, then the video plot. That is, first you think of some hype thumbnail, clickable, and then adjust the plot to it. The introduction should be no more than 10 to 15 seconds. Like, you know, dynamic, sharp, using simple, straightforward words, simply. You should essentially describe
This
your
is
preview.
both for shorts and for the full video.
For shorts, yes. Well, there's a separate story for shorts. We can touch on it too. Of course, dynamic and trendy editing is a must. Charismatically, enthusiastically, and most importantly, sincerely engage in dialogue with the viewer. That's the most important thing. Of course, content consistency is important. To post videos steadily and regularly, to have such a schedule. And that is also one of the main rules, perhaps even the most important one. Do everything possible to make the viewer watch the video to the end by any means, so they watch the entire video. Then success is inevitable. Next, ideally they should watch it and then immediately move on to another video. That way the channel will get a strong boost. If they watch one video entirely and then go to another, that's very good. Well, the 9th point is to constantly improve the content and think about what can be done even better, even cooler. And the last 10th point, a thesis. If you are not rewatching your videos at least 3 times, then it means something needs to change.
Before the release or after you have
I've already released it. I just had the desire to watch this video again, you know? That's the kind of vibe it should have.
Look at the error, what to change, what to improve.
Also in the sense of just enjoying this video. That's the main measure. For it to please you, for you to enjoy it, and then everything will be fine.
Did you study YouTube somehow? Maybe took some courses? Or was it all through your own experience?
Listen, everything through one's own experience. Yes, completely. Well, I watched some. Yes, some tips are cool. Just available. Openly. Didn't take any special courses.
And regarding what technical aspects, I don't know, maybe hashtags, titles, what can you advise?
Video optimization, yes, but listen, I think here more still. The main focus should be on thumbnails, hashtags. Well, not exactly that. The thumbnail, the plot of the video, all this should be dynamic, then it will work. In the short, you asked about shorts. There are separate ones further on.
The roughness should grab from the first second.
Yes, right from the very first second. You also need a little bit. Super. In short, being a person, it's easier for me in this regard. If you look at the shorts, I'm like that. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. When we filmed with Maxon. But a quiet, calm type of person. For him, it's directly this. It wasn't so easy for me. You know, I am the lively type, like a lighter, so it's funny. Yes, a fast change of shots is needed. The super dynamic presentation of some unusual idea. Sound should be kind of funny, you know, like with a cartoonish vibe, you know.
What is the age range of your channel's audience now?
Listen, but it shows that percent, I think, 10 younger, 18, I don't know. I don't really believe YouTube statistics. Well, yeah, because when you register, maybe it's on, I don't know, on my dad. Yes, because they're, I don't know. It's clear that mostly young guys watch us. Well, yes. So it's impossible to understand 10 or 16 somewhere. I think yes. Even 5 and 7% less only. Yes. What does your typical work day look like now?
Describe what you usually do during the day.
Listen, it depends on the period. Just last month we had a business trip. We went to Yekaterinburg, Chelyabinsk, Kazan, then back to Kazan. So we were driving around. We're invited online to events to highlight events, shoot content, participate in some tournaments. There are such periods. There are times when it's a filming period where we might be filming for about 8 hours, you know. We usually shoot several videos at once, maybe 3 or 4. And if shorts are added on that day, then it's really a full-fledged shooting day. Otherwise, on an ordinary day, it's more often just control of various moments. I don't know, like editing, making some preview, and just, yes, control of moments.
How many people are currently working on your team?
Listen, let's read, coach. Then recently our player became a sports manager. He's really great. Assembled a lineup for the summer league, a championship lineup, communicated with everyone, doing well. Artem Krishton, Artem, City Hall, manager from MEM, editor 1, editor 2, editor 3. 2 designers. Probably that's all. Oh, I don't know. Lera Ananich, our PR agent, and another Alexei. He helps us with large-scale projects. Well, almost 10 people.
Well, not a small team. Yes. And how do you join the Hubs team specifically as a media athlete? I mean, basketball players like Braga, Sano, I mean, guys who are there. Not the ones who will play, say, in the UBA, the Super League, and so on, but specifically media-oriented basketball players like, well, basketball bloggers. So what do they need to do to become part of the Hubs team? And do you have any kind of selection process?
Yeah. Listen. Well, it's already become a tradition for us. We film the selection for Hubs every year, right? And that's one way to join the team. So,
plan
as if
how
we already have this media side fully assembled. I don't know, if somehow organically, well, the person should just be liked. I don't know. We often shoot videos with subscribers. If somehow they catch the viewer's attention, people notice them. I don't know. They ask for them to be invited again. We will gladly invite them. Like that. He should be charismatic, genuinely sincere, just as he is with friends. That's how he should be with relatives, I don't know, and with us too, I don't know. Maybe he has a cool way of communicating or some unusual appearance. Well, things like
Nastya,
that.
suppose there is a guy sitting in Saransk who wants to join Hubs. If you were that guy, what would you do to get Nikolay's attention?
I would definitely create basketball content myself on some court, like on Instagram or YouTube. Yes. And I would try in every way to reach out to Kolya. Yes.
To get his attention.
Yes. Well,
he should have come to this selection. About hubs, precisely as a basketball team, not a basketball club. A team more where professional and semi-professional players play. How serious is your training process during the UBA season in the Media League? How many times a week do you train and so on?
Currently training 3 times a week. Plus, we currently have practices under UBA, under the 5-on-5 league, and under Media Liga. Since the formats are different, the training process also differs. Twice a week for Media Liga.
Oh, so someone trains 5 times a week under LSD?
So there's a certain expenditure.
And how do you recruit players for these teams?
Well, we're just conducting a search, looking.
Well, I think probably already all those who can be seen in Russia have probably been talked to.
That's the thing. The market for amazing basketball players is really very small. Very small. So
well, like in football, probably even if you and I went out and played football somehow, right? Finding a person, especially if they're charismatic and so on, who knows how to play basketball is much harder for us. I think in the football market, of course, it's easier to find characters who will succeed. What about considering some foreigners, non-locals?
Listen, if he really is, we understand that we need him, we'll agree on mutually beneficial terms, then no. Yeah. Exactly, because the market is small. The salary market in the Media League has skyrocketed very sharply. Do you know what the salaries there can be like?
I've heard different things, but they told me like, well, for a season they pay 200,000, 300, it was something like that. Yes, they're for 5.
A good player, yes.
No, not a month. That's for a season, for 3 to 4 months.
But no, it runs for 1.5 months.
Ah, here it is.
A short month.
That is roughly these numbers.
But it even goes, because of the regulation feature, a media personality must also play. Someone who is popular not because of basketball, and they might just have a salary of $1 million. Imagine, just like drawing an analogy with a football Media league.
No one there earns that
in general, the 200 to 300 is considered the largest salary. For us, it's just, well, like how much you need to pay to get a good player to play.
Tell us how you attracted sponsors to the channel. For example, how did you get in touch with Winline, or did they reach out to you? Well, let's start with that.
Yes, such a connection. The first match happened with Winline when Lera, our PR agent, sent me a request. Here, there will be a certain company that wants to collaborate with bloggers. I sent her Lesha, Alla, and Max. Max had a well-developed TikTok at that time, so they approved Max's terms and they did their first collaboration there, so to speak. So we just exchanged contacts, captured the moment, so to speak, and after, well, quite a lot of time. Well, maybe 6 months, something like that. We went to their office.
Why was only Max invited? I think Yankov had a much larger audience.
Maybe just based on the terms, the financial terms, yes.
What needs to be done for large sponsors, mainly bookmakers, to pay attention to you? Basically, from how many subscribers do they consider a collaboration, and how do you approach them?
Yes, but then we exchange contacts, and after some time, when we decided to form a team, we went to the main office. And moreover, we then abruptly changed our direction, moving away from pranks and that kind of hot content. And our first videos, well, I don't know, got about 5,000 views each. Well, and with these numbers, with small or disappointing numbers, we went to the office, and here it played more of a role that we, like, let me show you how to phrase this. Winline saw that we would exist regardless of Media League or any tournaments. It's just that we really want to do this ourselves. In the early stages, we only invested our own money and so on. I just know that other teams came to them and showed some crazy presentations of superstars who would be on their team, some crazy rich too. But the thing is, they showed this, but they did nothing before coming to them. Whereas we just already made a long journey and showed the fire in our eyes, proving we definitely do not intend to stop and will continue working. And despite the small reach, they believed in us. We had maybe thousands of subscribers back then, 70.
Before getting a title sponsor, how difficult was it to run the channel? Before Winline, you did all of this with your own money. Yes, if you didn't have a big sponsor.
There were some one-time integrations. Even some scam projects were there. I am very sorry. But we really had to survive somehow. Moreover, all the money was put back into the content. I don't know. It even got to the point where we borrowed money. I borrowed from someone. Max borrowed from someone. And we really didn't stop and kept going.
Well, it turns out you've been doing this for 10 years already.
Yeah, it's a club.
Well, in principle, you have it nicely. After how many years did you, well, not just break even on the cost, but, well, the income you earn from this became, well, enough money for you to live on?
Listen, well, when I lived in Saransk...
Well, that's why, yes, immediately others,
overall it was okay there. In Moscow, it's understandable, but after Hubs was created, the income reached a comfortable level.
How often do people contact you for advertising now, and who are these people? Like, listen, what problems might they address?
Come in, but we, you know, just set a price that's genuinely most comfortable for us. And, well, some agree, some don't. Well, different folks, some stores, some apps, something else, you know. Recently, for instance, a corporate event. They ordered for a corporate event. Imagine that.
Who ordered?
Oh, the father of some child who...
He has a son, a basketball fan.
Yes. A hoops fan specifically, well. Basketball and hoops, yes. Well, there was some request before, but this is the first time it actually made it to the finals. It's a cool feeling too.
So basically, without a title sponsor, it is quite difficult to engage in blogging and earn from it, right?
Listen, I wouldn't say so actually. If you have good crypts, it's like you can always have money.
And tell me about the Media League. For the team owners, is it a business where they earn something, or is it more of a status or image thing?
Listen, I don't know. Probably there is still this condition that the title partner of Media Basket gives 1 million rubles to teams per season, right? And, well...
For the season. But if you pay the player 200,000, then you'll only have enough for your salary.
Yes. Yes. Well, they attract some additional sponsors and probably earn from that. But the funny thing is that no team operates year-round. Only we can boast about that. so to speak, and yes, that's how it is.
So does it turn out that for many teams this is not business but more like probably an image thing, right?
Yeah. Oh, there are a lot of farm teams that are created, you know.
Well, there's a
just
cult
for the season.
with droughts.
Yes, that's right. I don't know, but right now a cool team has appeared.
Which the cook sponsors. This is actually a joke,
well,
at least it's understandable here. Yes.
But it seems like the most ideal partner there for Berg and
what
for
needs
Asha.
to be done to register a team in Media League? Are there any requirements? How does this part work?
I think if you just create content, then they should take you.
Well, at
just
least have a
create
lineup,
content
probably,
year-round.
even if it's just on paper.
Yeah. Some players.
What do you think the future of media basketball and media sports in general is? How long will it last, and will it survive as a separate trend?
Damn, it's hard, very upsetting for media basket that.
Because there are very few heroes, I think.
Very
and
few
they have
heroes.
Already ended.
Yes, and this is like an offline movement. Looks very cool, really very.
I haven't
cool.
been there, but in the video it looks totally.
Yes, but online, specifically by the numbers, there are very few views. I don't know. Broadcasts are watched. I don't know. If we're not playing, then there are about 200 to 300 people. It's very sad.
Well, UB watched a lot of your final matches.
Yeah. Well, no. They watch us normally, considering that we're just playing against pros, not against some media teams, so... Yeah. I think we had about 4,000 watching us online at the peak. Not bad. But if other teams don't film all year round, it seems like it will stay at this level of success.
Well, it's kind of soulless. Yes. It's sort of this artificial project.
Yes. Right. It's necessary for every team to make a YouTube channel, film videos. Then it will be really interesting. Then characters will emerge. New ones will develop. Some beefs, some scandals, stuff like that.
Well, because even when it was the Winline League, when Amiran was there, when Klava Kuka was there, it's like people didn't even understand what they were doing there.
Well, Dork is awesome.
Well, yeah, he's
really
super
in it,
charismatic, but there Amiran, you see, doesn't even know the rules.
Yes. Well, Dorok doesn't really know the rules there, but his sincerity is very strong. He was genuinely worried about the team.
And if you were starting a blogging YouTube project from scratch today, what content would you create, and what would you film to grow as quickly as possible?
Listen.
And in general, is it worth doing it today?
I think it's always worth it. Yes. Well, if you really want to, then definitely do it. But damn, I've gotten into this kind of content lately. All sorts of reports, you know. Like there's Vitya Kravchenko. You don't know that blogger?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I would probably also do such reports with interviews. I don't know. About kitchens, basketball teams.
I think few people will watch it. Few people will watch, I think.
Well, if it's interesting to do, following all sorts of canons.
Well, Pavlenko films something that rarely watches.
Cool. Not many watch it, but...
Well, although I didn't say he films poorly in principle, I watched something. Well, of what I watched, nothing was really amazing.
I kind of like Vitya, but for example, I've tried to watch several times, but rarely do I watch his videos until the end. If it's really about some issues, about some, you know, hotspots, something like that.
This should hook, but if you are without context, without anything, like I gave an example of shooting about the inside of some basketball teams, but this is already, you would have to be someone, so you cannot write because Kolya from Saransk let me in to shoot Cisco. Well, that is, if you know nothing at all, nothing, what would you do? The essence.
Probably some entertainment content and shorts too. They really boost media presence. also filmed shorts every day.
The guys you have who are both media basketball players and semi-professionals, can you tell us something about the contract conditions? Maybe you can't disclose financial terms. What are their obligations if they join your organization?
Well, just participating in team life, it's filming, it's trips, it's matches. Just like...
Is it like a salary for them? Is it like a salary for them? Yes, or is there
the
some
salary,
sort of...
yes, the monthly salary. We even rent an apartment for some. Like Big Sano, he was brought from Petersburg. How long has it been? About 2 years, I guess.
It is.
Yes. And he lives in Moscow with us.
I had one last question, advice on running YouTube. So you already gave advice. Let's probably conclude with mistakes to avoid based on your experience, things you wouldn't do today if you were starting a YouTube project.
Errors, but probably if it concerns the content of the video and cut out all the filler, so that the video looks more dynamic, and leave only what's necessary without excess. If everything has already been said, well, once it's said and done, move on. Don't add. What else? Mistakes? Well, yes, the same ones.
Maybe somehow. And how to avoid, if you post and people don't watch, is it worth continuing? Or if you believe in what you're doing, or maybe it's worth changing something?
Yes, when you upload a video, you should understand that the first good numbers may appear after 10 videos, while some novice bloggers might upload a video. But that's wrong. You need to... consistently release content, and if it's really interesting, there's little chance it won't catch on.
Probably on different topics, so that in your field, probably on different sides.
Topics, slightly change the direction somewhere, improve somehow. Yes, constantly test.
Kolya, it was an interesting conversation. I think this interaction will help a guy like you from Saransk realize himself on YouTube if someone wants to try developing themselves in sports blogging, because many kids now dream of becoming bloggers. Many look up to you. You are, as I think, such big role models now, an example to follow. So I wish you only great success.
Thank you. Thank you, Sasha.